So let's begin by sitting nice and tall, spine erect, chest open, shoulders relaxed. Both the hands in Chin Mudra, palms facing up, close your eyes. Relax your shoulders. Relax your facial muscles. Let's start taking longer, slower, deeper breaths. The belly expanding as we breathe in. Contracting as we breathe out. Very quiet, long deep breaths. And let's begin the practice with 3 Oms. Please chant along with me. Shruti Smriti Purananamalaya Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpada Shankaram Lokashankaram Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. We have come to the final verse of the text and we will directly jump into it. Okay. The last verse says, Aham nirvikalpo nirakara rupa vibhur vyapya sarvatra sarvendriyanam sadame samatvam na muktir na bandha chidananda rupa shivoham shivoham. Okay. It says aham nirvikalpo. So till now he has been negating, right? Now he is asserting what he is. Aham nirvikalpo. I am without thought. Okay, that is what aham nirvikalpo is. I am without thought. Nirakara rupa, formless. I am thoughtless. I am formless. Vibhur. Vibhur means mighty. Okay, all powerful. Vibhur. Vyapya sarvatra sarvendriyanam. I pervade all senses. I pervade everything. Vibhur Vyapya means Vyapya is pervading. Okay. Sarvatra. Sarvatra is everything. Sarvendriyanam. All the senses also I pervade. Okay. And then what does he say? Sadame samatvam. Okay. I am always in a state of equipoise. I am always the same. Na muktir na bandha. I am neither liberated nor bound. Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivo. Okay. So we will chant one after another and then we will chant this first. Okay. Aham nirvikalpo nirakara rupa vibhurvyapya sarvatra sarvendriyanam sadame samatvam na muktir na bandha Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. Together. Aham nirvikalpo nirakara rupa vibhurvyapya sarvatra sarvendriyanam Sada me samatvam na muktir na bandha Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. Before we see this verse, we will see one small story. Okay, early in the morning, you all are here. Let's see a small story. So what happens once Bhagavad Adi Shankaracharya, he walked all over the country, right? He almost covered all the four corners of our country. So he was near Udupi region, okay, and there was in that region, like he went into an agraharam, and um, there he saw a boy, okay, and that boy, he has not spoken since birth, okay, but the parents were like, what to say, um, they did all this, whatever karmas they have to do for that boy, they're doing it, but he doesn't speak to anyone. He goes separately and he laughs. Everybody thinks he's slightly, like, off, and he has some mental health issues and things like that, right? Um, Bhagavad Tata goes to that place, and then he looks at that boy, and he says like, hey, what is your name? And then everybody is like, no, he can't talk, he can't understand what you are saying, he doesn't understand anything, like, you can't, don't ask him anything, these are his parents, blah blah blah, they're saying. Just wait, he says, Bhagavad Gita, and says, he asks the boy, who are you, what is your name, again he asks. And that boy, he says, it's a composition, I'm not able to remember that, but the essence of it is, I am neither human, I am neither a yaksha, neither am I a deva, neither am I a brahmin or a kshatriya or a shudra or a vaishya. And then he says, I am just pure consciousness. Okay, so when somebody asks him, and he said that to Bhagavad Gita because he knew that he will understand what he is saying. And then he says, okay, now that everybody knows I can speak, I better move away from here. I will come with you. And he becomes a disciple of Bhagavad Pada. Bhagavad Pada gave him the name Hasta Malaka. He's one of the foremost disciples of Shankaracharya. Hasta Malaka means just like how a fruit in hand is so clearly seen. Okay, we don't have a doubt, right? We see if there is a fruit that we are holding in our hand, we see it very clearly, right? We don't question whether this fruit is there or not there. Why is it this fruit there? All this we don't question. We just see it, right? Like that, he is able to see his own self, identify with his own self. So that with this story, we will see this verse. Okay, so here he is talking about the identity. There is also this other, again, I'm forgetting this one, very bad of me. So what happens is there is an other great jnani, okay, a very deep abhyasi. So once what happens, he wanted to test whether this knowledge has really, he has really imbibed this knowledge or not, or whether he is just, taking all the theory and just expounding it without actually understanding it. So what he does, he brews a very strong concoction, okay, that kind of makes one feels drugged, okay, makes us lose our senses. That kind of concoction he brews, and he drinks it. And before brewing and drinking, he says to his disciples, I will drink this, I will fall unconscious. Okay, I will lose my prajna, I will fall unconscious. You come and wake me up and ask, who am I? And then tell me later what answer I gave. He wanted to test himself. Okay, so he drank that. This all happened. Okay, and when I recollect, I will text the name of that Mahatma. So he says, so he drinks all that, and then he obviously he falls unconscious, and then his disciples come running and sprinkle water on him and wake him up, Master, please wake up, please wake up. And they ask, who are you? They ask, because that's what he instructed. No, who are you? The master shouts, Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi. I am Brahma, I am Brahma. So then later, after he gains his full faculties, he asked the students, what did I reply? Basically replied Aham Brahma. So he didn't say his name, he didn't say I am a guru or anything like that. The identification was complete, and that is what is happening in this verse. Okay, so he is defining himself. See, the pure consciousness state of us cannot be described per se, okay, because it is beyond all words. Any words that we use is a limiting, it describes something, and by describing something, we always limit it, okay. But this is something that is beyond all words. We can only indicate it through words. We can only try to point it using the language. Okay, we cannot exactly say this is what exactly happened. And even if you study any text for that matter, the actual experience of self-realization cannot be described as step 1, step 2, step 3, all this happened. No, it cannot be. There are no words to describe that. Okay, so but what all these masters are doing is they are trying to indicate that, and through this indication we should try to aspire towards that. Okay, actually speaking, for all these great saints, mahatmas, all the masters that we have, once they realize there is nothing left for them to do here. Okay, because just like how we feel the dream is impermanent, it is not real, for them this world is not real at all. So all the dharmas and everything that is dharma, karma, that is applicable in this world, it is not applicable for them anymore. But still they come and they talk about this, they teach, they preach, they live and show how to live. They do their dharmas and karmas simply to guide us, and for that we should be eternally thankful. Okay, like what duty does Adi Shankaracharya have? 8 years he sang this, that's all. No, he's realized. But then what he did such great work, right? Went through so many obstacles, so many challenges. He traveled all across India on foot, made so many compositions. Why? Out of pure love for us. Okay, there is no need for him to say all this, but he did, and we should also aspire to reach that state. Okay, so yes, now we will see. So this is aham nirvikalpo nirakara rupa. So I am without thought, and I am formless. Can we imagine formlessness? Maximum we can imagine space. But even space we can't see, no, it's beyond our sensory perception, right? We are just seeing two objects, and the space between the two objects, we are seeing it as space, isn't it? We cannot imagine how formlessness, what will formlessness be like? You cannot, simply because it is formless. It's not available for our perception. And I am thoughtless. There are no thoughts for me. All thought modifications comes from the mind, isn't it? First statement itself, he says, Mano Buddhya Hankara Chittani Nami. He's negated that. When there is no mind, where is the space for? Okay. And then he's saying, Vibhur and mighty. And it is true, isn't it, that one creative force which has created this all, how mighty it will be, isn't it? So powerful, almighty. Okay, so I am that. Sarvatra, Vyapya Sarvatra Sarvendriyanam. I pervade everything. I pervade even the sense organs. All objects perceived by sense organs. I am pervading the objects and also pervading the sense organs that perceive this objects. But I am not that. Okay, I am the mighty one. I pervade the objects, I pervade the sense organs, but I am beyond that. I am the substratum on which all of this exists. Okay, if there is no substratum, none of this will actually be there. Okay, I am the substratum on which all of this exists. Sadame samatvam namuktir nabandha. I am always the same. So this we have to remember our Bhagavad Gita, right? What does Lord Krishna says to Arjuna? You cannot destroy the Atma, right? You cannot cut it. The sword cannot cut it. The arrow cannot pierce it. No matter what happens in this waking state, it is not going to affect that Brahman. It is going to remain the same. Okay, that is what is meant by Sadhana Samatvam. Even the final closing prayers that we say, Purnamada, Purnamidam, Purnat, what it says. From that infinite, that is infinite, this is infinite. From that infinite, even if you cut the infinite and take, what is left behind is also infinite only. Okay, so like that only, this Brahman, this pure consciousness state of me, it is always the same. Water cannot wet it, wind cannot blow it. It's all comes in Bhagavad Gita. What is it? The definition, all this comes. Nothing can affect it. Nothing that happens in this waking world can affect it. That's why Sadame Samartham na muktir na bandha. I am not, I have no liberation or bondage. Only when there is bondage, there is liberation. Even when I think I am bound, even when I feel, oh, I am bound by this body, mind, and intellect, I am bound by this birth, actually, we are not. You know how these elephants and all these mighty elephants, they tie it with one iron chain around its leg. That elephant is so strong. Okay, it can just forcefully move it, that the chain will come out of whatever, this thing that they have tied it, can happily be free only. It's just that their condition, isn't it? That you are bound, you stay here, don't roam about anywhere, you be here. That's a very psychological thing, right? We all know about it, isn't it? Similarly for us also, even now at this moment we are free only. Actually we are free only, but we think that I have taken this life, I have all these things to do, and this is the reality that is there. When we think that this alone is the reality, we get bound. When we try to understand that, okay, if we even question it for a little bit, then we get to realize, how can this be real? It is constantly changing. Reality is something that holds true in all three periods of time, isn't it? Nothing remains true in all three periods of time in this world. Some may last longer than the others. Maybe the mountains last longer than, all other species of life. But even they change. When the solar system changes, the universe itself is changing. Everything is changing. How can this be real? When we question, we understand that. And when we understand that, we will start deeply inquiring into the truth. Okay, so there is no mukti, no bandha, because he's already liberated only. There is bondage. Even for us also, we are liberated only. We just have to let go of this identification and start getting that realization. Okay, so Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivo. So this we conclude the verse. And now here I want to share one important thing. Okay, Vedanta, with a little bit of inquiry and listening, we will easily grasp the concept. It is not rocket science. Okay, it is about our own self. Okay, we can easily grasp the concept, and it is what to say. If we understand one, it's pretty much the same thing in all other texts too. Okay, but for us, this knowledge has to translate into experience. That is when true fulfillment will come. It is easy to read all this text and say, like, this is all not real, I am Brahman, but are we actually experiencing it? It's a big question mark. And even though through this, even if we become intellectually convinced, like, yeah, what we are saying is right, even after we do all our questioning and we find answers to all our questions, and our intellect finally gets convinced that, okay, this is not real, there is another state of consciousness and we have to aspire for that. Even though the intellect is convinced, it is very difficult for us to do it. Why? Because through so many janmas and janmas and janmas, we have been conditioned towards this body identification. Okay, been conditioned, adhyasa. Now it has become a habit. Okay, now we have to do abhyasa. We have to practice to take this habit. What practice we should do? We should constantly keep reflecting on this. We should arrange our lives so that we live by dharma. We live a very virtuous, righteous life so that the mind automatically gets purified. And then we have to do our sadhana every day. Okay? Only then This textual knowledge will become our direct experienced knowledge. Okay, so with this we will conclude and we will start our practice. Okay, so glad that we were able to do all this without any break, and we will move on to our practice. Let's come into a tabletop position. Let's come into a tabletop position. Taking a moment here to keep the spine neutral. And from here, inhale, head up, belly down. Exhale, head down, belly up. Inhale, head up, belly down. Exhale, head down, belly up. Inhale, head up, belly down. Exhale, head down. Good job. Now tuck your toes, lift your knees up. Coming to mountain, take your feet slightly wider apart. We are going to hold a very comfortable mountain today, okay? So maybe you can shorten the mountain too a little bit if it's going to make you feel less stressed. Putting the weight on the legs, letting the head hang loose. Just take everything in. Keep your eyes wide open. Look at the same familiar surroundings from a different perspective. Just completely turning the perspective around. Watch everything being upside down. Breathe. Keep holding. Keep breathing. Keep holding. Keep breathing. And as you are holding this asana, you can question, is there a possibility that this world is actually not real? Does that probability exist? Can we give it that benefit of doubt? People may say so many things in texts. Is it possible? Just maybe ask yourself whether it is possible. And from here, slowly walk your hands towards your feet. Catch hold of your calf muscles. Let your head hang loose. Relaxing the upper body. Few deep breaths here. What does it mean to me if this world is not real? What does it mean to me? How is it going to change my life? Just think. Or maybe just plant that question in your mind. That's all. Even if no answers come up, just plant that question. What does it mean to me if this world isn't real? Now slowly lift your head up, look forward, sweep your hands forward, slowly come to stand up a minute. Stand up tall. Hands by the side of the body, palms facing down, right foot forward. Lean forward, left leg up. Hold. So we are living in one tiny rock that is hurtling through the space. So what kind of permanence or assurance can we possibly expect from this kind of a life? Slowly come up, do it on the other side. Hands out. Left foot forward, lean forward, right leg up. Everything that we experience is always in relation to something else only. Isn't it? We experience the season in relation to the sun and position of the earth. Everything for that matter. It's always in relation to something else. This world of interdependency, what is that independent substratum that is holding this world of relations? Slowly come back up. Feet goes wide. Goes wide, 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 wide. Really wide, okay? As wide as you can. As long as you're not wobbling, it's okay. Really wide. Bend down. Palms down. Elbows soft. Crown of the head goes to the mat. It may not actually touch it, but imagine the crown of the head going towards the mat. Soften your elbows. Stay there. Every experience depends on something else only. Nothing comes without dependency. So what is that one thing that is independent? Something must be there, isn't it, for all of this to exist? It cannot come from nothing. What is that something? Don't think. How will my life be if I know that something? How different it can be? What are the possibilities? Without knowing about it also, my life is good only. But what will happen when I start inquiring into it? How will my life change? One more breath here. Slowly lift your head up, chest up, look forward, walk your hands forward. Squiggle your feet closer together, keeping it slightly wider than the hip, and squat down into Malasana. I can't do Malasana. You all squat down into Malasana. Yes. Push the knees open with your elbows, palms in front of your chest. Close your eyes. Hold Malasana. Where does God come into this equation? Text doesn't speak about God. Where does God come into this equation? 2 more breaths here. And from Malasana, slowly lie back down, sit back down, and then come to lie down on the mat. Hands away from the body, hands facing down. Let's go up to the sky. Few more deep breaths here. Keep holding. Keep holding, keep breathing. And slowly drop your legs down, gently drop your legs down. Bend both your knees, hug both the knees to the chest. I will hug one leg, you all hug both the legs to the chest. Relax the shoulders, relax the facial muscles. A few more deep breaths here in Pavan Muktasana. Hold and keep breathing. Quiet, long, deep breaths in. And slowly release the legs. Stretch your legs out. Feet apart, arms away from the body. Close your eyes. Release. Close your eyes. Rest in Shavasana for a minute. Rest in Shavasana. Relax and rest in Shavasana.
Aruna, are we starting the class with Shavasana?
Class started at 5:30 today. Let's put it in the group. I think you would have missed it. We've done the theory part. We're going to do the pranayam and meditation. So just rest. You also rest in Shavasana. Lie down, relax. It's okay. Recording will be made available. Few more deep breaths here. Slow down your breaths. Quiet, long, and deep breaths. Relax the body. Now slide your feet together, interlock your fingers, take it above your head, giving yourself a lovely long deep stretch. And release. Turn to any one side and just let go of it. Left leg in, right leg out. Let's chant the full Nirvana Shatkam and then we will start with our Anulom practice. Okay, please chant along with me. मनोभूत्यहङ्कार चित्तानि नाहं न च श्रोतजिह्वे न च घ्राणनेत्रे न च व्योमभूमेर्न तेजो न वायु चिदानन्दरूप शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं न च प्राणसंख्यो न वै पञ्चवायु न वाक्पाणिपादौ sorry. नवासाप्तदातुर्नवा पञ्चकोश न वाक्पाणिपादं न चोपस्तपायु चिदानन्दरूप शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं न मे द्वेषरागौ न मे लोभमोहौ मधो नैव मे नैव मात्सर्यभावः न धर्मो न चार्थो न कामो न मोक्ष चिदानन्दरूप शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं न पुण्यं न पापं न सौख्यं न दुःखं न मन्त्रो न तीर्थं न वेदा न यज्ञ अहं भोजनं नैव भोज्यं न भोक्ता चिदानन्दरूप शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं न मे मृत्युशङ्का न मे जातिभेद पिता नैव मे नैव माता न जन्म न बन्धुर्न मित्रं गुरुर्नैव शिष्य चिदानन्दरूप शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहम् अहं निर्विकल्पो निराकाररूप विभुर्व्याप्य सर्वत्र सर्वेन्द्रियाणि सदा मे समत्वं न मुक्तेर्न बन्धः चिदानन्दरूप शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहम्. Let that sink in. We're getting ready for a minute. Closing the right nostril with the thumb. Inhale left, 2, 3, 4, breathe in. Exhale right, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale right, 2, 3, 4, breathe in. Exhale left, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale left, 2, 3, 4, breathe in. Exhale right, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale right, 2, 3, 4, breathe in. Exhale left, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale left, 2, 3, 4, breathe in. Exhale right, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale right, 2, 3, 4, breathe in. Exhale left, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale left, 2, 3, 4, breathe in. Exhale right, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale right, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in. Last retention. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Once in Shinitra is close. The last verse you can choose any word that resonates with you. Nirvikalpa, darkness, or Nirakara Rupa, formless, or Vibhu, energy, Sarvatra, all pervading, Samatva, and it's the same, Shivananda Rupa, or Shivoham. Any of this stuff. Any of this, whatever resonates with you, take thought. And reflect on it. Take the word mighty, if you take the word Vibhu, reflect on what it means to be mighty. Take the word Nirakar, what does it formless? Just reflect on it as you sit in your seat of meditation. These are very abstract, okay? And the mind will go into several tangents when you do this reflection. Bring it back to this root word that you have chosen again and again. You're a little abstract today, but still try. You keep repeating that word as you reflect on it. Now taking a deeper breath. Bring the awareness back to the body. And slowly open your eyes. Teacher, today class started at I had put it in the group. So anyway, I will share the recording as soon as this is over. Okay? Any doubts? Clear out. Do you have any doubt? Or if you have all clear?
It's like too much to take in. I'm still like in the Indian effect, the creator, we are all created. That's what came to me.
Oh, yeah. If you see Matrix, then you can say there is no spoon. That scene should come into our mind. So yeah. So if there is no doubt, then we will start the class with a prayer. Okay, today's homework. Okay, so just think how, if at all, if there has been any shift in perspective through this 7 days, if at all you have felt any shift in perspectives, or if not, also just think about that. And if you want, please do share it in my DM if possible. All right. So just think how it has shifted your perspective. If it has shifted your perspective, if so, how? It may not have also shifted your perspective, and that's absolutely okay. All right, so you can just reflect on it. And tomorrow we will have we will have asana, pranayam, meditation practice. I won't be speaking much. We will just wrap everything up and finish the workshop tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow as usual 6 o'clock only. Today I have to go for a meeting at 7, so that's why we just started a little early today. Thank you so much. We'll finish the session with our prayers. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow. Okay. Bye.